G'day all, F here from Epic Rides and Tours, Sidecar Adventures. It just makes me feel like putting the arm up in front of me and taking off. Yeah, okay. Right, this is the second episode of our marathon run to get the Gearbox out of Swampy, our 2011 Tourist. I've looked at all the stuff I've got in there. There is a whole heap of how-tos, not just getting the gearbox out, but for example the starter motor, the air filter, the rear suspension, swing arm, all sorts of stuff. And I just thought that rather than pile all that one into one huge video, which may well have people falling asleep, that I would break it down into shorter chunks, and I'll be titling each video as not only as episode whichever of this marathon job, but with the actual job that we're doing on this one, so you don't have to look halfway through an hour and a half video or longer to find your little bit about removing the starter motor. Okay, so anyway, let's get moving. Garage is that way. Having removed the back wheel, which you should have seen if you've looked at the right videos, we now get to the drive shaft and we pull it off of the donut. Now I've already done it here, so here's one we prepared a little earlier. Now once you get the drive shaft clear, and I had to use one of these tyre lever from the Ural toolkit that pulls the drive shaft off. If you try to take the donut off the back end of the gearbox here, you will not have enough room to properly remove it from the bike. The drive shaft doesn't just fall away and onto the floor, because it actually goes through a little tunnel in the forward end of the swing arm. So as far as getting the drive shaft off, this is as far as you can go before you hit the gearbox. Right, as I've already said, to get the swing arm off, you have to remove the rear shock absorbers, and that's where the top bolt fitted, and this is where the bottom bolt fits. Now, it seems to be a bit of softness in there, but I think I should order myself a couple of new rubbers for them on each side, and one for the top of the shock absorber. They're looking a bit tired, and at the same time, of course, I will avail myself of the opportunity to clean everything. But yeah, take off the bottom bolt first. You'll find that the nut will fall off, and the anything like mine, the bolt will still be protruding on this end. So I haven't got enough room to swing a hammer, so I tried to do it the subtle way and continued unscrewing. The bolt did actually come straight out cleanly. Then I took the bolt off of the top end of the shock absorber. This is where it sits, and yeah, it came off nice and easy, no problems. Of course, there's no weight on either of the shock absorbers because the bike's up in the air, so that makes it a lot easier. So if you look just where my finger is, you can see the end of that bolt, and you should see it slowly retreating as I turn it. Surprisingly easy, really. Rightio, now we've got that bolt off and we come to the top, and I've no idea if this is standard, but I doubt it. The pillion Jesus Christ handle is there. You know, they grab hold of it and Jesus Christ. And the back end of it is an Allen bolt. So not really sure if that's the right one for the job, or at least the genuine one. But there you go. It's up the top. It's a 14mm, and it comes off easy. Done that, and loosen the Allen bolt I mentioned earlier. Pull that back, and this will come off dead easy. Look at that. No effort at all. I'm not sure if you can get new bushings for these, but I'll have a chat with Ural HQ up the top of the hill in Ural, and if they're available, I'll buy a set. Okay, there's the challenge. Okay, buggered if I can remember what that kind of item is behind the bolt, but you'll see on the right hand side there, it's been folded up to hold that bolt in place. I'm not really sure if it's worthwhile keeping them, because I would say that they've been severely weakened once I've taken them off. So another order for them lovely people up the mountain in Ural. Okay, the thing you can see moving about is the actual drive shaft, and right next to it, that nut is an absolute bugger to reach. But as soon as you start undoing the bolt at this end, and you'll notice I've already got it out, that one will turn. So I used the tip. I couldn't get a spanner in there to save my life, so I used the tip of one of the Ural supplied tyre levers, and held that still while I removed the bolt from there. Yeah, I'm not sure how I'm supposed to get that fixing debris out of there, but yeah, I'll start on the other side of the swinging arm and maybe things will become apparent. Right, so I've disconnected the swinging arm from where it attaches there, and again up the rear. I'm not going to show you that, you know enough. But the drive shaft won't come clear, and I can't move the swinging arm back because of this little thing here, which is actually part of the rear brake connecting system. It goes through to this rod. Okay, I advise that you actually tie that to the bike at a convenient spot to avoid bending it. You will bend it if it's not tied up properly, and then you'll get upset and you'll start saying naughty words and things. Anyway, yeah, this bit is held in place by split pins, not cotter pins, people. Right, remember there's a difference. They are split pins, and you undo the split pin. I'll use a pair of long nose pliers. I've just straightened the pin out. It's only a very light one, and then plop that connector, that connecting pin out, and we can move on. So there are two of these pins in the whole assembly. Okay, and you want to remove both of them. This is the connecting rod which goes to the rear wheel to operate the foot brake, and that one up the front also has to come off, because as you can see, you can't move the bloody thing. I've managed to drop the Oh, and a lot of noise. I've managed to drop the drive shaft out, and I'll now try and get, and succeeding with only half a dozen grazed knuckles, to get the swinging arm section out. That'll give me an opportunity to do a bit of cleaning in places you can't normally reach, and thereby increasing the life of the bike, really. We all know if something stays dirty, it rots quickly. Well, that was the solution. Turn off the camera, and the very first try works perfectly. Just Murphy's Law, so it has. And I can say that because my blood's Irish. There you go. Right. I'll do the other side, and there'll be some nipping up to do. I'll find something to hold that nut still while I tighten this one up. Then I'll go and check for a torque setting, and if necessary I'll torque them up to the right amount, and then I'll just flip this. I've had to straighten it. Judicious use of a vice and an engineer's hammer. So for anyone who might not have used a torque wrench before, that's lefty loosey, this is righty tighty. You wind on, and right, I've got a 20mm spanner hopefully holding that back nut on the far side. Whoop. So hopefully that 20mm spanner will help to hold the item in place while we gently tighten up using the torque wrench. Nope, it's not quite working. Nope, it's moving all the time. Okay, time for a different idea. Right, tie a lever just up against the side of the bolt. I don't think that's going to work either. Damn. Bit more pressure. If anyone has done this before and knows better, let me know in the comments, please. Okay, so there's the click, second time. That's me 25 foot-pounds. I'll do the same on the back. All right, I spoke earlier about putting a lip here, curling up that side of this object. I started trying to. Very difficult to actually get a bend in that, so I'd love to know how it was originally done. I've gone out and had a look at our 2021 Gear Up Dusty, and it doesn't have this kind of bolt at all. It still has the notch in the frame, but there is nothing of this, just a massive Allen head bolt. So I'm not going to do that, especially since I've torqued it up properly. However, I will make sure I test it properly before I declare ready to go. So, as you can probably see, it's hot and humid here at the moment, and the house's air conditioning doesn't reach to the garage. Perhaps I should have insisted on an extra zone, hey? Anyway, I'm going to go for a drink of water and a little cool down. But here's our swinging arm in place. I still have to check out torque values. I'll do that while I'm cooling off in the front room. And there's our drive shaft, tapped in quite easily, believe it or not, into the donut, with judicious use of a rubber mallet. I love that rubber mallet, it's just so good. Right, a quick interjection there. On the spline, which is at the tail end of the drive shaft, you'll notice there's like a spring clip item. Now that is a way of measuring or setting the gap between the front end of the drive shaft and the donut. Okay, so when you fit the drive shaft to the donut, don't push it too far forward, because you're going to have to then fit the final drive unit, and as you do that, you slide the final drive unit up until it bumps into that spring. It will, if you've done it right, the drive shaft will only move forward enough to allow the final drive mounting bolts to fit through their relevant holes in the end of the swing arm. When I was doing this, I had no idea that that was for, but just all of a sudden up sprung a video from Heindel Motorcycles, Ural dealer in Eaton, Ohio. Thanks guys. Bless your cotton socks. So that actually, that spring actually sets the gap that you need to put between your drive shaft and the donut. Okay, the drive shaft has to have a gap there because it swings up and down with the swing arm. So if you have it too close, the T-bar part of the drive shaft versus the donut will be doing this or this, and you don't want that. So according to our good friends at Heindel, you need about a 5mm gap to keep that set up right. Too far back and you increase the amount of leverage on those spigots, the fingers that come out of the T-junction and into the donut there, that would increase leverage on that donut to the extent it could actually cause the donut to die before its time. So yeah, I'll now shut up and back to the video. Okie dokie, now the rear suspension units go in quite easily if the bike is off the ground. You can see how loose the swinging arm is there and how easy it is to drop the shock absorbers into place. If you try doing this with the bike on the ground, it ain't gonna happen, people. So up the top here, a washer on either side, and then you bolt it in and then bolt the bottom in. Right, that's the right hand suspension unit in place. Note the pillion hanging on for dear life loop fits to the same bolt holds in with the same bolt. That bolt doesn't have to be particularly long, since the little tube that the suspension unit goes over the top of here, here's one we prepared a little earlier. There, that is threaded right from the outset, so one nice large washer either side of the bushing up the top there, and then your Jesus Christ loop, God help me handle, whatever you like, and about 2-3 centimeters long 14mm bolt. I've fitted it with a spring and a plain washer to hold it all nice and tight. Anyone who reckons it's not a good idea, let me know down in the comments. That's it. So I've set that for in the middle of 28 and 36, so 34, and there you go, bang on. Okie dokie, the trusty torque wrench back out again. I've had that about 26 years. Most of my sockets I've had for close to 40. Been a long time since I had to use this one. Most of the jobs I've ever had come with a company car, and I've basically never had to do any work on them. So between 14 and 22 foot-pounds for the top here, and there you go. Right, and for the bottom, (28 to 36). So I set it to halfway, so not easy to see in this light. There you go. Okay, take 3. Bloopers everywhere, I tell you. I'll be uploading a couple soon. Okay, I hope you got something out of that. Look, it's a voyage of discovery for me. I'm learning new stuff, I'm being reminded of old stuff, and I'm hoping that that info will be useful to other Ural riders and owners, simply because by following my little instructions they can avoid some of the stuff ups I've made. I've discovered a lot and I've stuffed up a lot, and I reckon that in doing so I've got a valuable resource here for others who follow in my footsteps. Alrighty, now getting serious, the business logo should be appearing as a watermark in the bottom right hand corner of all of our videos. I've had a look as the owner of the page, and I can see that there, and when I put my cursor from my mouse over the top of that watermark, a magical occurrence occurs. Basically a subscribe button appears, and you click on that, and that will give you notifications the next time that we upload a video, so your chances of learning more are improved. It's amazing, but 90-something% of our returning viewers aren't subscribing. Come on guys, give us a subscription. Anyway, thank you for listening this far. If you liked the video or any other of our videos, or indeed the whole channel, please, as I said, give us a subscribe, like the videos, let us know if there's something we could do better, or something you're interested in that we might follow up for you. And yeah, share into all those marvelous groups on Facebook and Instagram, whatever, where there are people who are going, how the hell do we fix the upper flipping flopping Dutch thing on our Urals? It's all here, guys. Thanks for watching this far. See you next time.